Hey family, welcome to The Unchurching, where we question everything, especially the spiritual teachings we've been handed without question. Today we're talking about one of the most controversial, misinterpreted, and fear-inducing books in the Bible, the Book of Revelation. People love to use Revelation to preach about the rapture, the end of the world, and eternal damnation. But what if I told you that Revelation was never meant to be a literal horror story? What if it was actually an astrological and mystical text? A cosmic allegory designed to guide humanity through a spiritual transformation, not terrify us into submission. Let's break it all the way down. Revelation was written around 95 AD by a man named John, not John the Apostle, but John of Patmos. He was exiled, most likely for his anti-Roman teachings. In that time, astrology wasn't some fringe New Age thing. It was deeply woven into spiritual, political, and daily life. The stars were seen as messages from the divine, a cosmic blueprint of human experience. John's visions are filled with astrological language and symbols. When we decode those symbols, the book transforms from a scary doomsday prediction into a guide for spiritual awakening and collective consciousness shift. Let's start with one of the most famous images, Revelation 12. It says, "A great sign appeared in heaven, a woman clothed with the sun, with the moon under her feet and a crown of 12 stars on her head." This woman is Virgo, the Virgin constellation. In late summer, the sun is literally clothing Virgo. The moon is at her feet when it's a new moon, and the 12 stars represent the 12 zodiac signs. The dragon in this story? That symbolizes the constellation Draco, the great celestial serpent winding around the northern sky. Rather than predicting a literal child being hunted by a dragon on Earth, this is an astrological drama describing the eternal struggle between higher consciousness, divine feminine energy, and lower primal forces, the dragon. Revelation 4 describes 4 living creatures, a lion, an ox or calf, a man, and eagle. These directly correspond to the 4 fixed signs of the zodiac: Leo, lion; Taurus, bull; Aquarius, man; and Scorpio, eagle, the higher form of the scorpion. These signs are guardians of the cosmic wheel, representing stability and balance through all ages. This isn't about terrifying creatures lurking in heaven. It's about cosmic forces, astrological archetypes that mark the corners of the zodiac and the progression of ages. Throughout Revelation, the number 7 repeats constantly. 7 churches, 7 seals, 7 trumpets, 7 bowls. In ancient cosmology, there were 7 classical planets: Sun, Moon, Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn. These 7 spirits of God represent divine forces influencing humanity's spiritual journey. Rather than being a countdown to destruction, the 7 stages represent cycles of transformation, internal and cosmic. Let's talk about the beast and that infamous number, 666. Traditionally, 666 is interpreted as the number of the beast, a sign of ultimate evil. But in numerology and astrology, numbers hold symbolic meanings. The number 6 is tied to material completeness, creation, and imperfection compared to the divine 7. When you triple it, 666, it can symbolize being trapped in material consciousness or ego, rather than spiritual wholeness. So, the beast isn't necessarily a literal monster coming to devour us. It represents humanity's lower nature and attachment to power, greed, and ego. At the end of Revelation, we see the New Jerusalem coming down from heaven, described in radiant crystalline imagery. This symbolizes humanity's potential for spiritual rebirth, a collective ascension into higher consciousness and unity. It's about the inner temple we're all called to build, not a literal golden city dropping from the sky. This was John's vision of a cosmic rebirth, the completion of a spiritual cycle, not the destruction of Earth. So how did this cosmic roadmap turn into a book of terror? Fear is a powerful control tool. Over centuries, the Roman Church and later Protestant movements emphasized literal damnation to keep people obedient, dependent, and in fear. By turning symbolic spiritual teachings into threats of hellfire and apocalypse, leaders gained power and controlled the masses. But when we decode Revelation through astrology and esoteric symbolism, it becomes a book of empowerment, not fear. A reminder of our connection to the cosmos, and an invitation to evolve spiritually. Revelation isn't about the end of the world, it's about the end of an age, and the birth of a new consciousness. It's an astrological and mystical masterpiece that calls us to look inward and rise above our lower nature. If you're ready to unlearn the fear and reclaim your power, this is just the beginning. Drop a comment if you want me to go chapter by chapter and decode every cosmic symbol with you. Like, subscribe, and share this with someone still stuck in fear-based teachings. You were never meant to live afraid. You were meant to ascend.